Chapter 3. Milk and Light. The pup might have been sent from Ursus, and the grizzly might have had the best of intentions, but she was at a loss to imagine how she might take care of this pup beyond nursing him. He was a greedy little creature, that was for sure, and he was so different from a bear cub. He smelled different, he sucked differently, and although he was a bit larger than a newborn bear cub when she had found him, he was not fattening up as fast. A bear cub would have doubled its weight by now. The wolf pup had grown some, but not enough, and yet he nursed incessantly. The grizzly worried that her milk was not right, or perhaps she wasn't holding him properly. What did she know about raising a wolf pup? If he had been assigned from Ursus, there should have been more signs that told her exactly what to do. The grizzly told herself every day that the pup was a gift, but she wanted him to be more than just a gift. Did he feel she was strange too? But what do cubs know? She was startled and nearly chuckled. I called him a cub! And then she realized that even though the pup was a wolf, perhaps they were all alike. Cubs, pups, they think about nothing but milk. Faolan is no different. He had paused in his nursing for a moment, and she took the opportunity to pick him up in her huge paws and hold him close to her face. They peered into each other's eyes. His were becoming a lovely green like the wolf's eyes in the beyond, and hers were a rich, gleaming brown, so shiny that the tiny wolf could see his own reflection in them. You're a funny little creature, and she stuck out her tongue and dabbed his wet little nose. He gave a happy yip yip. Oh, you like that! She did it again, and he squealed now with delight. She set him down. He immediately rolled over onto his back, holding his tiny paws in the air expectantly. The grizzly thought this was a signal that he wanted some tickling. She began to speak with a mixture of words, snorts, and huffs. She wasn't sure if he understood her or not. It didn't matter. Oh, great Ursus, you want me to do this again, you funny little fellow? The words of the wolves and the bears and the owls did not differ much, but the tone and the expressions and the subtler movements of their heads or their eyes created a hidden language strange to other animals, and sometimes incomprehensible. Faolan lay on his back, waiting for the huge tongue to tickle his belly. So she did, and the pup leapt up gleefully. This was repeated several times. Then the pup ran a distance and turned his head back to look slyly back at her. He suddenly hurled himself toward the grizzly, leaping into her arms. She was so stunned she fell backward. He climbed up her chest and began licking her chin, then her nose. The bear's chest rumbled with chuffs of delight. The more she chuffed, the more Faolan licked her nose. The bear felt her eyes fill with tears. For days this wolf pup had nursed, but hardly seemed to look at her. But now when he had finally stopped nursing for just a moment, and she had played with him, he played back. He understood. She picked him up again gently and held him away from her face. They peered once again into each other's eyes. He wiggled a bit and made the milk, milk bark. She cradled him and he clamped onto her teeth. But this time there was a difference. He opened his eyes as he nursed and looked right at her. It was as if there were a current flowing between them. Faolan consumed the milk, and the grizzly drank in the luminous green light of his eyes. She felt a deep surge of love.